Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Poetry in the PM. Today's a very special day because I haven't done this before, but Jazz is playing with his brand new squeaky toy that he loves so much, so he's making some squeaky sounds. I haven't read a children's book yet, and so today I'm going to be reading a children's book that was written and illustrated and published by some very dear friends of mine in Toronto, Canada. And I thought they did a very noble and beautiful thing by creating this book, and that 100% of the proceeds go to Villa Charities, which is a charity in Toronto helping. They do a lot of things. They do scholarships and celebration and of Italian heritage. They do a lot of work with our seniors, most importantly. And in this time, I think, it's all safe to say that our senior community is the most vulnerable and most affected by this. They are not able to leave their homes as they are very vulnerable. So for those elderly people who aren't lucky enough to be surrounded by a lot of family members, that means they have to employ other people to get them groceries or ask for help. So 100% of the proceeds from this book, Then the Robins Sang, will go to helping them, seniors in senior living facilities and all their resources that they need. So I think it's a very, very special thing. So, but I love Channel 13 and all the guys there, and so I am not surprised that when all this happened and they thought about what their company could do to help, that they came up with such an incredible idea. So, and I'm playing my very, very, very small part and reading it for you guys, and even if it wasn't to raise money for charity, it's a lovely little book, and I encourage you to buy it anyway, because I just think it's really special. Special shout out to Ava Bakari, who actually wrote this story, and she brought it to our guys at Channel 13, who then flew away with trying to get the book. So, without further ado, I think I'm probably going to just jump right in and read this book. But to all of you out there who have a senior in your life or a senior in your community that needs help, I hope that this maybe inspires you to reach out to those people and see if they need help, see if they are in need of anything, and if there's anything else that maybe you can spare to help them out. So without further ado, I'm going to jump in and read Then the Robins Sang. And I'm going to do my best to show you the lovely pictures that Gianluca illustrated for us as well. It was March 11th, 2020. The streets were empty, the stores were closed, and the people no longer went outside. But spring didn't know. And so the flowers continued to bloom, and the sun shone, and the birds returned home. There was a time when pets couldn't go outside. It lasted for only a short while, but in the moment, it felt like an eternity. It was the beginning of spring, when the last layer of snow finally melted, leaving patches of rusty brown grass for pets to run through and plenty of puddles to jump in. So as you can imagine, everyone was excited to head outdoors after hibernating inside all winter. You can see there's a little cat in the window waiting to go outside. And on this page, you can see there's a little doggy who's waiting to go outside. All right. The cats waited patiently by their windows to reunite with their neighborhood friends. The dogs, too, were anxious to be let out. They could only go outside for brisk walks during the cold months and were ready to spend their days chasing squirrels again. We have a picture of the cat staring out the window. But spring came, and no one was let outside. It was a strange feeling. All the signs of the changing season were there. The flowers were beginning to bloom, the sun stayed out later, and the sky held its bright blue color longer. Clearly, spring hadn't forgotten to show up. So what was causing the delay? There we go. It's our spring day. Even the squirrels were confused. At first, they enjoyed the newfound freedom of an empty backyard. They chased each other around while the pups pressed their little noses against the glass, wagging their tails and whimpering to get outside to join the fun. There you go, got a little doggy, and he's super jealous that he can't go out and play with his squirrel friends. But without any pets to play with, the squirrels quickly grew bored, and one day stopped showing up altogether. The pups longed for visitors and sat by their windows all day, hoping for a butterfly or a bumblebee to pass by and keep them company. Our doggy's all bored by the window, no more friends. No one was allowed to come over to play, and there were no park dates or playmates to help pass the time. The pets were all alone in their solitude and wondered if they would ever see their friends again. Their spirits were low, and no amount of treats could lift them up. When they weren't feeling sad, they were bored, and it seemed like life would go on this way forever. Then, one morning, while it was still dark, a familiar sound broke the silence at dawn. It started out as a soft warble, then grew loud enough to wake a sleepy cat stretched out on a windowsill. A tiny robin was perched on a branch outside the window, and she was singing to the lonely cat. See, we have our robin singing to the cat right there. But she wasn't the only one. A whole choir of birds began to sing a hymn loudly and proudly for all the pets across the neighborhood to know they were not alone. It was the song of spring that carried with it the hope of a new season. See all the robins perched, singing songs? The robins had returned home from a long and cold winter and noticed that the pets were all still inside. So they serenaded their old friends by their windows to signal that spring was waiting for them on the other side. And the birds kept singing until one day, the pets headed outside to join them. See the doggy playing with his squirrel friends? Everybody is outside, happy, playing. And that, my friends, is the end. Thank you guys so much for this gift of this book. It's so beautiful. It's like we're all those pets stuck inside and seeing all our friends outside and wanting to go outside and be free again. And beautiful message that nature obviously doesn't wait or revolve its life around a pandemic, that nature comes and spring comes no matter what. And so we're very lucky that at least in this time we have sunshine and birds singing and flowers sprouting. Those are beautiful things to look forward to. So thank you guys so much for making this book. Thank you everybody at Channel 13. There were a lot of people involved, so I'm just going to quickly read this last page. It says the special thank yous, which I think is super important. We would like to acknowledge the many editors who reviewed early drafts of this book, including Rachel Casasanta, Simone Castello, Crystal Di Marca, Philip Furgiuele, Jill Gilvezzi, Lindsay Groves, and Robert Yellen, and Ava's mom, Anne-Marie DeLuca. Your revisions, suggestions, and willingness to help during this time are appreciated beyond words, and a special thanks to our littlest beta reader, Anel Furgiuele, for providing valuable insight as our first listener. This project came together over a few short weeks in March 2020 at the beginning of school closures and social distancing in Ontario, Canada. As a result of the global pandemic, it was completed remotely over countless emails from the comfort of our own homes as we watched this heartbreaking crisis unfold around the world and in Canada. Our hearts go out to all those who have been touched by this crisis personally, alone and at home, or while watching the news of places hardest hit. We want to acknowledge the unwavering commitment and devotion by our frontline workers to keep us safe, especially in Canada and Italy, where the devastating outbreak has claimed so many lives, particularly among the elderly population. As a gesture to help with relief efforts and acknowledge our shared Italian heritage, we are donating 100% of the proceeds from this book to Villa Charities Foundation, which supports programs and services that celebrate and promote Italian heritage, culture, language, arts, food, and family values. As a charitable arm of Villa Charities, the foundation provides a crucial funding for areas such as senior care, youth services, education, scholarships, cultural programming, and capital needs. Grazie mille a tutti, siete sempre nei nostri cuori, which means thanks 1,000 everybody, you're always in our hearts. So again, to Ava, who brought this beautiful story to the guys at Channel 13, to Gianluca D'Achille, amazing friend of mine who's an incredible, talented illustrator who drew the pictures, and to everybody at Channel 13 that published this book. Thank you guys. This was a really beautiful and sweet idea. And if you guys want, you can pick up the book yourselves on Amazon. It's $15, and every dollar goes to charity. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you had some kiddos around. And luckily, this stays on my Instagram for 24 hours. So if you missed it at this time, or you saw this, but you know a family member who has kids who wasn't able to make it, just send them to my page, and they'll be able to watch it in their own time. So get the word out there and spread this story with as many people as you can. Okay. And Mike wants to say thank you to all who purchased so far. Giovanni says, mine's on the way. Right on. I think I got it faster in the States than you guys got it in Canada. So thank you so much. I'll go to the comments for a little bit, see if you guys have any questions about the book or how to get it. How you guys doing? Did you guys enjoy the book? I think some people are reaching. Hello from Canada. Hi, Canada. Say hi to me, please. Hello. I liked it a lot. Well, thank you very much. What's your name? Killer Turnip. Well, Killer Turnip. I'm happy that you liked it. Loved it, very soothing. You should do reading more often. Yes, I agree. My mom's asking, who is the illustrator? My friend Gianluca D'Achille. He illustrated this. Greetings from Argentina. Gianluca's laughing at me. Why are you laughing at me, Gianluca? Did I just say your name super Italian? You got a problem with it? Do you have it in Europe? I imagine you can get it in Europe. I don't see why not. It might take a little while to get there, but maybe that's a question for the Channel 13 guys. I'm sure you can. But again, something that I didn't mention, I mentioned before, but I didn't mention today. If you go on Amazon, you can download, I believe, a digital version as well. If you'd like to, if it doesn't ship to your specific country where you live. So at least you can. We had a purchase in Japan. So yes, look at that. We had a purchase in Japan. I love that. So if it could reach Japan, I think Europe is good. Hello from Tijuana, Mexico. Hello, Tijuana. Mike says it ships. Okay. Hello to my friend Loy. Hello, Loy. I hope I'm saying that right. You really liked the reading. Thank you. I don't know. If you guys like me reading children's books, I know I have a lot of friends with kids, and they're finding it really difficult and challenging right now to sort of fill the day, and they're having to pick up a lot of slack from teachers. So if you'd like me once a week to to read a children's book. I don't see any reason why not. So maybe I'll start doing that. I think I have a few from my childhood. I think I have one, like, luckily I have my library right behind me. I don't know where that went. I had some, like, Italian books. I think I have, is this in English or? Oh, I have an English one, yeah. I got Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Classic, great one. This is like vintage. So maybe I'll read that next week. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the book today. Again, it was called Then the Robins Sang. So if you can buy the book, we appreciate you. We love you. I hope you're doing well. Again, this is Friday, so I'm going to sign off. Take the weekend off as I do, but I will resume again on Monday at 2 p.m. For another week of Poetry in the PM. I got some cool guests next week, so I'm excited about that, and I hope you are too. And yeah, thanks for joining me today. Again, the money goes to Villa Charities. If you want, you can follow them, especially if you're, in Toronto, and you want to sort of do something to impact your community. I know that's a big thing that I drive home. There's so many charities out there, and it can get quite saturated sometimes, and it's kind of hard to tell what you want to help and who you want to help. There's just so many things you can donate to. So I think a great way to start is just to start by donating something that's going to impact your specific community, where you live, where you participate, where you earn. So we thought that Villa Charities was a really good one. So I'm proud of them for picking it. More children's books, please. Okay, noted. I will. Maybe I'll do it Fridays. Maybe I'll sign off the weeks. Maybe Channel 13 has gotten me to do something. Maybe I'll do a children's book every Friday. So if you guys like. All right, guys. Thank you so much for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the book, Then the Robin Sang. Check it out on Amazon, and it all goes to charity from my friends at Channel 13. Thank you, guys. I love you, and I'll see you Monday for another episode of Poetry in the PM. Ciao a tutti.